Hey guys, right here, and I just saw Sully. So this movie is about the Miracle on the Hudson. That actually would have been a better title for this movie, Miracle on the Hudson, instead of just Sully. Yeah, I know it's a personal story, but I feel like I feel like the movie would have been a lot better with that title. But anyway, so this movie is pretty much still Captain Chelsea Sullenberger. Uh, that people are calling him like, oh, he's a hero, and then there's like another side where, oh, he could have landed on the runway. He had plenty of altitude to just land on the runway, but he's going to like all these like hearings and stuff like that, and they're showing him like simulations and all that stuff, and how he could have handled it, but when you're in the air, you only have a few seconds to think. And his thought process is like, I'm gonna land it safely into the river, and he's landed it safely in the Hudson River. I think he did the best that he could do. I feel like if he were to land on a runway, it would probably end in a fiery explosion. Like I feel like it probably would have ended in like a fiery explosion, and you might have had like a few casualties, but he landed in the water, which I don't think you could have a fireball of flames go up, and he managed to save every single person on board, which to me, that is a hero. He doesn't like to be called a hero. He doesn't feel like a hero, but he is a hero, no matter how you look at it. And this movie was directed very well. Tom Hanks gives us another great performance. He's always good in what he's in, no matter if it's Captain Phillips, British Spies, Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. He's pretty much, catch me if you can, he's great in almost every movie he's in. He had a few duds in his life, but he's a great actor. He knows how to give it his all. And this one is no exception. This is another great performance by Tom Hanks. And Aaron Eckhart's in this movie, and he has a big, distracting mustache, and I don't know, I kind of find it hard to take him seriously with the big mustache on his face. I, I don't know, it always weirds me out when I see like an actor change their looks for a movie. That just was like, it's just not a problem. It's just it's odd seeing Aaron Eckhart with the facial hair. But he did it good too. He was a good co-pilot. But I forgot his character name though. But yeah, I do have one problem with the movie, and it's not a big problem. It's just nitpicking, and it's just, oh, this is a movie. We're gonna have everything play out like it's a movie, and there's just one scene where right after he crashes the plane into the river. You see the plane crash a couple times in the movie. This is, I think, like the final time you see it crash in the movie. Sully gets like on the phone with his wife. He's like, turn on the TV. And as soon as she turns on the TV, breaking news: plane crashes into the Hudson River. Like, there's no way you could time that better. There's no way she timed it perfectly for it to say breaking news as soon as she turned on the TV. I can't even do that when I'm watching SpongeBob. I turn on the TV and it's already like 5 minutes into the best day ever episode of SpongeBob. There's no way you could time that as perfect as she did. But what can I tell you? It's a movie. But yeah, that's just a nitpick. This movie is phenomenal. This is another great performance with Tom Hanks. This is another good Tom Hanks movie. Another good Clint Eastwood movie. I think this is the second Clint Eastwood movie I've seen in theaters. The first being Jersey Boys. I know. And the whole Hudson River scene when he's flying into the river, that is intense. It opened up with the dream sequence, and opened up to the dream sequence. He's having like flashbacks, not really flashbacks, but he's like he has like these visuals in his head of what could have happened. And in the opening scene, you see like the plane crashing into a building, and this lady right next to my dad's like, "That's not what happened," and and then it shows him waking up like a couple seconds later, and he's like, oh, it's a dream sequence. And then there's this one scene, it's like flashback scene. It shows Tom Hanks as a like 25-year-old, and the lady next to my dad is like, is that Tom Hanks as a kid? And then she basically just made a comment throughout everything in the movie. Everything in the movie she needed to comment about it, and kind of got annoying. And then at the end they showed like photos of what really happened. They showed like not archive footage but actual photos, and and this lady is like, oh, that's the real Hudson River crash. Like, no shit. No shit, that's the real Hudson River crash. God, people are annoying sometimes. Anyway, I give not Miracle on Hudson. I give Sully 5 stars out of 5. Definitely another great Clint Eastwood movie and another great Tom Hanks movie. It's hard to go wrong with Tom Hanks nowadays. He usually always get. Oh, I can't talk. He usually always gives it his A. He always does like 100%. So yeah, 5 stars out of 5. I highly recommend you seeing this. Oh, and there's a 9/11 reference in this movie. They're like, what's his face? Tom Hanks is in like a hotel room, and then this like guy walks in. He's like, oh, this is gonna be a good story. This is one of the greatest things that happened in New York City since. No, this is one of the greatest stories about New York City, especially involving an airplane. I was like, wow. I can't believe they said that in this movie. That's fucked up. Implied 9/11 in this movie. That, and they had a plane crash into a building. So I guess that's 2 references to 9/11. But speaking of which, it's tomorrow.